clapping music by Steve Reich is a very simple construction. You have two parts, and it's exactly the same rhythm in both players. They both play the same pattern throughout the whole piece, except the person who plays, as it were, the second part, the lower line as it's written on the score, actually has to take out one quaver every bar and just put it earlier. So the rhythm gradually crosses over until eventually it comes right back to the beginning and we're in unison again with the first bar repeated at the end.
So I was just playing the same part for the whole piece, and David was playing a slightly different part each bar. So there's 13 bars in the piece. The first bar and the last bar we play exactly the same thing as each other. And the other 11 bars, David's playing something just very slightly different each time.
The decision when to change is actually slightly free. Steve Reich suggests that you change between 6 and 8 repeats. It's not terribly strict. Some of the bars that we play are very enjoyable to play, and sometimes I just play them for longer. And others are slightly trickier, so you kind of move through them. But there is a freedom as to exactly when you want to change.
Sometimes when David shifts to a new pattern, that can throw the player that's just playing the first part. And other times, if you start thinking about what you're going to have for tea or how you're going to get home, then that can throw you off slightly as well.
When you come to learn the piece, it rather depends on which part you're playing. If you're playing the static part, as has been said already by Toby, part of it is to concentrate only on your own part and do not be distracted by what the other player is doing. If you're playing the part that moves, personally, even though we're talking about minimalist music, there should be all the notes should be equal in not only in value, they're all quavers as it's written on the part, but also in dynamic, in importance. However, when you come to actually perform it, you'll find that certain patterns lead themselves to a certain beat or off a certain beat, and therefore what I found is that there are natural stresses that are written within the music, and you just find certain bars where you put a slight accent somewhere. It's not really an accent in the sense of a much stronger beat, but you lean towards certain beats in a slightly different way, and you just find that the combination of the moving part and the static part, some beats are just stronger because you're in unison and you lean towards those. When it comes to preparing for this piece, obviously you want to try and match the sound of the other person that you're playing with, and there's many ways of getting a different sound to claps, from single fingers, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, getting high sounds, getting low sounds. So you just need to find a sound that you're comfortable playing for some time. Usually it's a semi-cupped sound as opposed to the darker one. And to agree with the other person the sound that you're aiming for. So when you are together, it sounds like one person, but then suddenly you come apart and it's a surprise to the audience what's happening.
So at the end of the piece, once we've joined back together and we're both playing the same part, David gives me a nod, and then we've just played the pattern 4 more times, and then we finish together. That's one of the trade secrets there. Shouldn't have given that away.